Okay, so I'm in a bit of a rut. I'm just gonna crab the walls. I need to know that the fish are biting. I know they'll bite a crab on a rock wall. That's the lucky text message from Zoe. He just sat on that. He's not too bad. He's all right. Oh mate, it's been tough. This is the confidence I needed. Oh dude, let's go man. That's a good fish actually. That's a good fish. Alright, let's stop mucking around and actually net him. Okay, but this water is so clear too. Oh yeah. These are good fish actually. Yeah. Let's go, man. Let's absolutely do it. Yes. Yes. Oh. This whole time, I haven't even got the flies out. That's ridiculous, but we got one. God damn it. She's got some gnashes on him, man. Got some absolute gnashes on him. Look at that. I'm happy with that. I don't know why I'm holding him like this. There he is. There he is. Okay. There he is. Let's get him back. Love these fish. Absolutely love them. Okay, mate. Look at that, how clear that water is. Okay, so I might go through a bit of an explanation as to why on earth am I throwing crabs on BFS. So when you're on this is really just for walls. You can do it on pontoons, but you know, you're probably better off with spin on pontoons. And I'll sort of talk to why. With a rock wall, you have one structure that follows a whole length of river. And there are no, look, I'm going to say there are no specific areas along the wall that you really want to cast to. Every now and then there is, but you can punch cast all the time throughout that whole stretch. Now, the reason why you want to do that with a bait caster is you can put in, I'm going to say, I won't say twice the amount of casts, but 1.5 times the amount of casts. Like, you will be able to put more casts in. And the longer that crab is in the water, especially considering that the crab doesn't do anything, it just sinks. The longer you have that crab in the water, the more likely you're going to get a bite, especially when the bream are a bit funny and they're just sitting on it. They're not exactly sure. They want to have a close look at it before they grab it. So a bait caster allows you to have the bait in the water longer. Spin, don't get me wrong, guys are throwing them on spin and doing a good job, but I think you cast more often and have the bait in the water longer with a crab on a bait cast. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you get it dialed in, it's really good, especially on regular action. Another thing too, not only can you put more casts in, but with depth, if you are on a rock wall with a bit of depth, that changes sometimes, the slope changes. That little magic button is going to allow you to sink it. You can have your thumb just on that spool with a line coming off. You can still feel those bites as the line's peeling off. You can't feel the bites with line peeling off your spinning reel. You might be able to feel it through the rod sensitivity, but I'm telling you, you have more direct contact. You can even slow your sink rate down a little bit. You just have so much more control and your bait's in the water a lot more. So I'm a bit of a proponent of crab on baitcast, and hopefully we see a few more guys and girls throwing crab on baitcast, and I might take the credit for it, even though it definitely doesn't belong with me. All right, let's get a few more. This is, I don't know, got the confidence up now. Okay. So let me show you why crab on bait is awesome. And you might be able to see, like, as it's sinking, it's not perfectly smooth, but every now and then I have a little contact with my line on my thumb. And it's similar to when you're bait fishing with spin and you've got your line, your finger on the line. So that's a little bump there. I just wonder if I'm actually not on the bottom. So there we go. Okay, that's a pretty good instructional as to, I thought I was on the bottom. I was having a couple of hits, but I felt like I could be further. I clicked it down and those bream were chasing it down, trying to get a feed off that crab. Let's see if I can try it, do the explanation and actually catch a fish. Okay, so again, see that line running off, and I'd say maybe half the time I'm feeling that line as it's going over my thumb. I'm watching that line. Okay, so sometimes you have a bit of a jolt in your line. It could be many things. It could be sort of that crab hitting a rock. Sometimes you'll get enough sensitivity in that line where you'll know that that was a fish having a crack at it. And the best thing with the crab is you don't have to set hooks. And that's why I like to use a regular action rod. And your regular action rods, they're a bit easier to put a cast in on bait cast with a regular. Fast action, you got to whip it, and that spool sometimes can't handle that fast cast, especially when you got light baits like the finessey. It's not true bait finesse, but it's still, it requires like a bit of a skillful hand to be able to throw it on a fast, but on a regular, you don't have many problems with that. Okay, so that line was tight for a fair way. So I've just clicked it over and letting it get down the bottom, because that just may be where the fish are, especially in these crystal clear conditions. They may not be very confident up high. Doesn't mean they're not looking up high for the crab. Sometimes if they need a little bit of tempting, just swinging it down in their face, if you're able to manage that line well, that can do the trick. So one thing I want to mention when you're fishing a crab is that you do not want to set the hook on a crab. A crab is very much like a crankbait, except you're doing nothing with a crab. Crankbaits are easier in that when you're setting the hooks with a crankbait, at least you're already turning the handle. Half the job is already done for you. Crabs are a little bit trickier in that you can't strike, but you have to lift and provide just that balance of tension to be able to set the hook in the first place, but not so much that you're pulling those small hooks out of his mouth. Oof. Just saw one follow up the crab. Okay, that's a better fish. That's a better fish. Don't know if that's a bream though. Yeah, it's silver. Yeah, it's silver, let's go. Man, a feisty bugger. Yeah, not bad. Not a bad fish. Another good fish. Oh, there we go. He's all right, but they're just sipping it. They're definitely just sipping it. Oh, so good. Love these fish. Okay, let's get you back, bud.